Yes guys, welcome back to the Fun Bikes YouTube channel. I'm Finn and today I'm going to be showing you the nice and easy build assembly for MB250. So it can go from looking like this to this. Let's get this thing out of the box. So guys, now I'm going to run you through what tools you're going to need for this assembly. When you open your box, you will receive tools with the bike. These will get you through the assembly, but obviously I'm going to use my own tools. And if you have your own tools too, that'll work fine. So I'm going to be using a 13mm spanner, a ratchet with a 10mm socket on, 6mm Allen key, and a knife. So guys, to get this thing out of the box, all you're going to need is a knife. So if you want to carefully slice along all the sellotape around the edges, like so, you can now open up the box. Inside the box, you'll see a lot of packaging and obviously your monkey bike. So first thing you're going to do, get all this packaging out, like so. You take the handlebars out of this bit of cardboard. Once that one out first, now you can carefully take your bike out of the box. You want to put that down for a sec and take the box off the stand, like so, and then you can put your monkey bike on the stand. But don't forget, in the box, you will receive another box with your parts in it. Don't forget to get that out or else you might struggle a little bit. So now you've got your bike out of the box, we've got a part box on the side here. I'm now going to cut this open and show you what comes inside. So if we cut this open, in here you will see you've got your bar pad cover, your charger, you've got your two wheels for your training aid, the bar for your balance beam training aid, the bar pad cover. And then in this bag we have a manual. I highly recommend you read this. It shows how to charge your vehicle, how to maintain it, all that stuff that you might need to know. You've got your two top clamps, your handlebars, have your fuse for the bike. So now in this bag, we've got a small tool set. If you do have your own tools, I do recommend using them, but this is all you'll need for the assembly. So now I've got the bits out of the bag. You'll see here, we've got your two top clamps with the 4 bolts. You got the 2 bolts here, and these will be for the underside of the training wheels. And then we've got these 2 bolts, 2 washers, 2 spacers, and 2 nuts here. These will be for the wheels on the side. Let's crack on with the build. So guys, starting with the assembly process, we're going to be doing your handlebars. So the first step you're going to want to do, you're going to want to grab a pair of wire cutters and carefully cut this tape off, and same with the other side. So now we've got all the bubble wrap off, you can now grab a top clamp, 2 of these bolts, and a 5mm Allen key. So you're going to grab your handlebars, you're going to flip them straight over, and with these ridges here, they're going to be straight onto here. So line them up, get the top clamp on, and get these bolts in finger tight. Make sure these are as tight as possible. So now once they're tight, you can now grab your other clamp and the other 2 bolts. It'll be the exact same process. So once you've got them tight, you can give a little push down. As you can see, they're nice and secure, so we can now move on to the next part of the assembly process. So guys, for the next part of the assembly, we're going to be putting in your fuse. Nice and simple step. You come to the back of the bike here, underneath you'll see this gold, bronze. You just want to pull that up, lift the seat off, like so. You want to make sure it's off. As you can see, no power, you can't get it yet, but just in case. And then you're going to have to rummage a bit, obviously just being careful. But if you see this pink wire with this little black bit, all you want to do, put your fuse in here. That pop-in is normal, nothing to worry about, won't harm you. So once the fuse is in, you want to push the cap back on till it clicks. It did click, I swear. And you want to put that back under. So now you can test if it works. And as you can see, we've got power, so we know the fuse is working. So now you can grab your seat, and this little clip will slide under here. So and then just push that clip back on, and there we are, that's your fuse and your seat all installed. So now on to the next part. So guys, now we can move on to the assembly process of our training wheel aid. Now for this part, you don't necessarily need them. This is how you feel and if your child is safe enough without them. If you don't need them, you can just skip this part and move on to the next. So starting off, you're going to need all these parts from the part bag. So the 2 bolts, 2 washers, 2 spacers and 2 nuts. You're gonna need both your wheels and obviously the training wheel bar aid. So we're going to start by grabbing a bolt and a washer, like so. Now you can grab your bar and this will slide through the hole, like so. And now you can grab a spacer, slide down, then you can grab your wheel, slide down, and finally the nut. So now you're going to need to grab a 13mm spanner and a ratchet with a 10mm socket on it. So now you just want to make sure this is as tight as possible, like so. So now you're going to do the exact same on the other side. So a bolt and a washer, through the inside, spacer, wheel, and finally the nut. And again, make sure they're nice and tight, like so. And with that, you've installed the wheels onto the training bar aid, so now we just need to fit it onto the bike. So guys, moving on with the assembly process, we're now going to be attaching your training wheel aid. So for this, you're going to need what we just assembled earlier. You're also going to need your 2 bolts, which will have a bigger washer and a spring washer on. You need 2 of them. You'll also need a 5mm Allen key. So for this, nice and simple, these 2 holes here, if you see in here, there is a hole in the foot peg, be the same on the other side. So what we're going to do is we're going to slide the training aid under, and what we're going to do is we're going to screw it in a few threads from the underneath. So put the bolt through, line it up, and just screw it in. So once you've got a through thread in, you're then going to do it on the other side, exact same. So once they're both finger tight, you want to grab your 5mm Allen key and just start tightening. There you go, now that one's tight. We can move over to the other side, make sure that's nice and tight as well. So once that's tight, you can now see, if I do this, they're nice and stable. And it's working efficiently and as it should be. So that's that part of the assembly done. Let's move on. So guys, the final part of the assembly, we're going to be putting on your bar pad and bar pad cover. So nice and simple, undo that, take your bar pad, push it onto here, and then your bar pad cover is just going to wrap around back onto itself. So then you can Velcro down like that. So guys, before you do take this thing on a ride, there's one more thing we're going to need you to do. That's going to be a full nut and bolt check. So I'm going to show you exactly all the bolts you're going to have to check, tighten them before you take it for a ride. So if you start at the back, you've got your rear axle here. You've got some screws here holding on all your plastics. You've got all your plastic screws as well. They're all around the sides. You can always double check your training wheels if you have them on. You want to double check your front axle. You can always double check your handlebars as well while you're there. And then the other side, I'm pretty sure it's very similar. The plastic bolts again, training wheel. You want to check this bolt here, and you want to check all the bolts on the rear brake. And with that guys, that's it. That's your assembly of your monkey bike done. So if you do have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments and I'll reply to them as quick as you can. And before your child takes out on a ride, please ensure they do have their protective equipment on. For example, their helmet, gloves, body armor, suits, etc. You can get this from the link in the description or in the bio, and I'll see you in the next one.